Mitchell Trubisky.
He's a good backup.
I mean, yeah.
He's a veteran presence in the locker room.
That he is.
Outside of that, boo. Poop.
I'm talking about.
He is poop.
We talk about all this clout and all this other stuff. A lot of these quarterbacks, Mike Glennon, Matty Ice, Mitchell Trubisky, they beat Florida State, they get drafted. That's their claim to fame. I beat Florida State. And it's bad. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Trevor Lawrence beat Florida State.
Yeah.
Handily. Great arm talent. He might not beat the Texans this year.
A lot of people might not beat the Texans this year. Just saying.
I need y'all to beat the Bucks. I don't care if y'all beat nobody. I need y'all to beat the Bucks.
I need us to beat every team in the NFC South. But every team in the NFC South got to catch these paws. That's the only way it's going to work.
Oh,
I talked to my cousin all the time about it, right? And I looked at the schedule before they did, and I sent them. I was like, I see 12 wins. He gonna send the shit back to me and was like, you see 12 wins where? So then I had to break it down. I had to break it down game by game. I see us splitting with the Jags. We might split with the Titans. We beat the Colts both times. That's 4-2 in the division, right? Yeah. Easy math. The 4 NFC South teams. That's 4 wins. In my book, they all ass. Not saying they might not get lucky and beat us, but if I'm looking at it on paper, we have a better team than every team in the NFC South. That's 4 wins. Then we're matched up with the AFC North. So we have to play the Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. I say Bengals and Ravens might be 2 L's. Steelers and Browns, that's 2 W's. We had 10 wins already.
Yeah.
That's 10 wins. And then I think we play, I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure we played teams in the NFC West. Maybe AFC West. I think we got the Broncos. That should be another dub. And he was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
But I see 12 wins. Now, are we going to win all 12 of those? Maybe not. Just being realistic. But we should win no less than 10 games. No less. We should be a 10-win, 10-17. We are a 10-17 on paper as it stands. With no injuries, no bullshit. Right now, my Texans will get at least 10 wins. Now, we can get some catastrophic injury to one of our key players, and we got to start moving stuff around, and we got guys in there because you got to think about it. Being a team that's just now starting to put things together, our bench ain't that good. So if we have to rely on non-starters right now, we're going to be in trouble. That's just facts. So a lot of teams out there that have depth, like you look at the Eagles, right? They lose anybody in the secondary, they're probably still going to be good. They lose anybody on the D-line, they probably still going to be good.
They got 2 NFL starting teams in the Eagles.
Right. If you just look at their starters and backups, they have the flexibility to lose a player or 4 and still be a good team. We do not have that luxury. That's just facts. And then you look at other teams where they roster barely looks like it should be a starting roster. Like you look at the Browns roster. Like look who they got on defense. They got a bunch of guys still trying to figure it out. They have linebackers that don't even know that they not supposed to be linebackers.
Well, it's about to get good. But we'll go ahead and start with on Marlo to get in this thing later.
A lot of sad Knicks fans right now. That's all I'm saying.
Just TV just to start off with the...
Especially Stephen A. That's my dog. But I know Stephen A. about had a heart attack.
Oh my.
But what did I tell you? Jalen Brunson can't do it by himself. I literally said, if they have to rely on Jalen Brunson to play 48 minutes a game and to be their leading scorer, they are not going to win. And what happened? Julius Randle and RJ Barrett disappeared when they needed them most.
You know what? We ain't gonna do this for free. We're gonna go ahead and get it started. But since it's college football, like, nah, we don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that.
Bring the band in. Bring the band in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is another Gathering Old Men Podcast. 2 man up, 1 man down, 1 on the way. It's them boys. It's another Gathering Old Men Podcast. Myself, TP, Marlo will be here shortly. We come to bring the good news. That's what it comes. You know what? Let that play for a minute. When you got smoke in the city and people don't know who you is, you gotta reintroduce them. You really gotta reintroduce them. See, it's been a weird week, and I know for a while I have been podcasting from the parking lots and while I was at work and all that stuff. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Fuck Clemson. Now let's start the show. For all those that don't know what that's about, check Twitter. You'll understand. As we was talking about earlier, TP, the Steelers have re-signed Mitchell Trubisky. And somewhere in the Twitterverse, there is a guy that is very happy that Mitchell Trubisky got re-signed because he's going to get another Manny card for some reason. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. He is a quality backup for a up-and-coming quarterback. The fact that TP ain't got nothing to say about that, just, yeah.
Like I was saying, man, he's a good backup. And when I say good, that is using the word good very loosely. Because at any point, if y'all rely on him to come in and try to win y'all games, may the odds be ever in your favor, because it is not going to be pretty. He has not played good at any point in his career. He's played under multiple offensive coordinators. But he may be able to break down coverages and he couldn't do it while he was playing. You know, maybe he can do it from the sideline. Because you know what they say, hindsight is always 20/20. So, like, when you're sitting on the sideline, you might be able to see the game better than when you're on the field. You know, there's been a lot of quarterbacks that made their career as backups. And the second they had to step into the limelight, they didn't do so well. You take, what was old buddy's name that came in for Tom Brady that year when he had the knee injury? Was it Matt Flynn? Was it? I can't remember his name. It might have been Matt Flynn. Well, Matt Flynn came in for Aaron Rodgers. One of the two. Dude comes in for Tom Brady. They still win 11 games. He gets a contract somewhere else and completely stinks up the place. That's an example of somebody who should never have
Talking
been.
about Garoppolo?
No.
That wasn't Garoppolo.
Hey man, quit talking about my quarterback. You worry about your quarterback.
I'm pretty sure it was Matt Flynn.
Sure, it wasn't Garoppolo.
No, this was way before they even drafted Garoppolo. This was way before then. I'm pretty sure it was Matt Flynn. But that's an example of somebody who had been a backup, played well in, a reserve role, but then when given the full reins was trash. Now, Mitchell Trubisky is coming in the opposite order. He was somebody who was given the reins, was trash, and now he's a backup. So if he ever needs to be elevated back to that, I don't see it going well. He can try to mentor Kenny Pickett as much as possible, who I also think the Steelers are going to move on past after this year. But, Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin. I don't think the Steelers are going to have a horrible season, but they won't finish above third in the division. I'm sorry.
All right. So, like I said, that was breaking news that we just, popped in there, and Marlo want to take swings at my quarterback. But my quarterback beat that dude that's supposed to be the baddest man in the land several times to go to the NFC Championship. So, and to a Super Bowl. So I don't know what we talking about here, but it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. The season coming. It's coming soon. TP Marlo and me and Marlo talk on the phone from time to time, and he brought to my attention because I desperately want to go to this LSU game, but the tickets that I want, it's going to be cost prohibitive to be where I want to be, so I can be in the middle of the action with the LSU fans. So apparently God has intervened. Howsoever, we would like to send an olive branch to Mrs. TP and possibly ask if that same weekend you can come down to broadcast in Miami at the Jackson State Florida A&M game.
And when would this be?
This will be September the 3rd.
September the 3rd. Okay. I'm gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to have a talk. That's
you know what?
That's around our
due date?
No, that's around our anniversary.
Oh, okay. A trip to Miami? Wait, we got to find out if she can fly now. She can fly now. I got y'all.
She'll be able to fly. The baby is due next month, so.
Oh.
Yeah, we in the end days.
Oh, it's gonna be a little TP running around here. Yes, sir. We go. Marlo, we might be in business.
It's gonna be number 3.
Might be in business. All right. So
you get there with you.
So there was a couple games this week. First, I would like to say I need somebody on this podcast to admit that Jokic should have won another MVP. Because them boys ain't got enough weight in the weight room. I don't know what the Lakers gonna do. I heard, he just left. He just left. I know he left. Listen, Marlo said Mo Bamba was gonna slow down Jokic. At this point, I don't care if Jesus come out there. He not slowing down Jokic. And Jokic got healthy, quality bench players. Y'all in trouble.
I can't tell you the last time I seen a 30-point, 20 rebound, triple-double. I personally can't tell you if I've ever seen that before. As great as Shaq was, it was points and rebounds. I see some 40-20s out of Shaq. Saw some 40-20s, 35-20s, 35-28, 8 blocks.
Yeah.
But I ain't never seen a 35, 21, 14, 3. Never seen that.
And don't leave out the steal. The steal sold. That sealed the game. The steal on LeBron ended the game.
Still on LeBron ended the game. But what I will say, Denver, if y'all have to shoot 60% to win this series, y'all, it's not gonna happen. Because y'all know why. Because y'all playing the greatest player ever. And if y'all come out here bullshitting again, y'all gonna blow another lead. The only reason y'all was able to stand them off because they decided they want to get the ball to D'Angelo Russell in the fourth quarter. That's the only reason y'all came back. You got people making dumb mistakes with the ball. And they was on your ass. They was on your ass. You blew the lead because you started out hot and then you took your foot off the gas. If you take your foot off the gas with LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the other side, they gonna be on your ass. Foot off the gas, they on your ass. Remember that. Great game by Jokic. He can't be guarded by anybody on the Lakers with a Laker uniform. He cannot. We've already established that. He cannot be guarded. When he hit that 3 in Anthony Davis' face, Anthony Davis couldn't do nothing but just laugh and look at him. He was like, this man is unreal. When you make a superstar look at you like that, Mama made it.
Marlo. I don't know if we lost this dude or not, but I've been saying it and saying it. After that fiasco that Philly put up, sidebar.
One debacle at a time. One debacle at a time. I got a whole 15 minutes for the Sixers. Don't even worry about it. We gonna get to them. We talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets right now. We go get to your MVP. We gonna get to him.
Listen.
But go ahead.
I'm gonna start with Mr. I Am Him. Mr. Reeves, Austin Reeves. Dude, you got a nice shot. You got a little wiggle to you. Don't get it messed up that you him, you not. You the man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man. That's who you is. You is not the man.
I don't think he ever thought that he was better than LeBron or Anthony Davis. I love the way he plays because he plays so aggressive. He is somebody that is going to come off the bench and is literally giving it his all. He hit so many big shots for them in that Golden State series. It is hard for him to not, feel the level of success stemming from that. And you want him to build on that. You don't want him to try to take a step back or take a step out the light because he knows who the leaders of the team are. He's not even a starter. But he knows that once he's on the court, he needs to be going full throttle. He has to. If they want to win, put Reeves in.
So his matchups are very difficult for him because Denver is long, athletic, and big.
Yeah.
And I got Orlando Magic fans. I didn't ever think I was going to see Aaron Gordon help.
But he is, and he balling.
He got a little more chub to him, but he still got them leapers.
Mm-hmm.
He still got them leapers in. Y'all don't.
Aaron Gordon showed up yet.
Yeah.
He has not showed up yet.
Yeah, he ain't really showed up in this series. Not like he did in round one.
I don't know who this dude is, man. But
I think Marlo breaking up a little bit.
Yeah,
Listen, Linda. The shooters that they TP. How long Green been in the league? Because I swear to God, he played.
He was on that Cavalier team that won the championship, wasn't he?
What I thought he was on that Boston team that won a championship.
Back with Rajon?
Yeah.
He might have been. Shit, he been in the league a minute. And he played on a plethora of teams.
This man,
like he hit some big shots. He hit a big shot. Let's be clear. He hadn't hit a shot all game before he hit that last three. They left it wide open, and he hit the shot. You know, you did your job. You hadn't done nothing the whole game. But I would say this about the matchups. Austin Reeves only has one advantageous matchup, and that's against KCP. If KCP ain't on him, he struggles. If anybody else in a Nugget uniform is on Austin Reeves, he has struggled, besides KCP. And maybe Brown. But even Brown been giving them trouble because they damn near the same player. Like Bruce Brown.
I just shout out to Coach Malone because he recognized that the game was getting out of control. Let me get it to my superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all she wrote. That's all she wrote. He made a couple missteps, couple turnovers, but he got it together and took the game home. And he took it home on the defensive end. Stop saying this man don't play defense. Stop it.
I mean, he did a little something on D. He did a little something. He ain't the imposing center sitting in the bottom of the paint that frightens people away from it. The Lakers still had them at 60 points in the paint. Like, he's not that guy. But
No.
he does enough to change some shots here and there. You know, I would say this. He's not a liability on defense. He's not the greatest defensive player, but he's not a liability. He's not a DeAndre Ayton in the paint. You get what I'm saying?
He ain't Luka. Let's be clear. He ain't Luka.
Yeah, he not Luka. He gonna fight a little bit. He got heart, which sadly brings me to somebody who doesn't. Number 21, your league MVP. Y'all knew this was coming. I'm waiting all week. Starting from when he came out after he got his MVP speech and got inducted. I said, oh, they about to get their ass whooped tonight. They got their ass whooped that night. But then they won. And it's like, okay, they can win the series. They up 3-2. They lost game 6. And then completely disappeared in game 7. My God. When I say you couldn't even put out an APB for them, they done went to a country that has non-extradition. You could not find them. They were gone. Him and James Harden, your 2-star player. James Harden has a 21% three-point percentage in game 7s. He ranks worst in NBA history in three-point percentage in game 7s. The worst. There is nobody that has ever played the game and shot at least 25, which ain't that many. 25 threes. There is nobody that has ever been worse than James Harden. But yet we still call him a superstar because he dropped 46 in game 1. Good for you. You did your job in game 1 when Embiid was still hurt. Y'all blew a 3-2 lead, which ain't something that Doc Rivers is not accustomed to, which is why he no longer has a job.
This was the perfect storm of how to blow a 3-2 lead. You had a coach who's been known to blow 3-1 leads. You had a point guard, if we can call him that, who's probably slightly in better shape than me, who cannot hit the broadside of a barn in Game 7. You have a fake superstar that we inducted into the NBA 75, who in 9 years has not sniffed a conference final. I'm sorry, he did sniff a conference final. He went to a conference final and he lost, as everybody does, by shooting over him. Pick somebody.
I mean, that shot that Kawhi hit was insane. That was an insane shot.
Okay.
That was insane. Everybody had to stop and look. That ball hit every inch of the rim before it went down.
All right, TP, that's fine. Everybody had shot on him.
Everybody had shot on him. Yeah, that is true. I think you froze over there.
I can't hear nothing if you saying anything. I'm in a bad reception area.
Nah, I can't. Yeah, he lagged out. He lagged out. I don't know what's going on. He'll be back.
Yeah. It's the youth host now.
Right. He was really about to let in on him too.
Hopefully he'll be back in a second.
There you go.
I'm gonna start calling out internet service provider names. Y'all ain't gonna like me. Y'all are not gonna like me. Anyway.
You shouldn't have cricket as the internet service provider.
But what I was saying was, this guy, stop telling me how talented Joel Embiid is. Right now in my books, he's not better than Big Red. And I never saw Big Red play, except for when he was with the Boston Celtics. So until he win him a conference championship, don't tell me he ranked anywhere in the top 30 big men ever. Not in the top 30. Because all I see is trust the process. The process failed. We 9 years in. I have seen nothing. Like I was about to say earlier, if I'm at LA Fitness and Joel Embiid is on the other team, I'm taking a step back three just to see. I want me a piece too. Everybody else getting some, let me get some.
The crazy part is everything that happened on the court, we saw it. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you why he's not a superstar. He had the audacity to sit in the post-game news conference and say, we can't do it by ourselves. I lost all respect. We can't do it by ourselves. What your MVP. Yeah, the MVP. You are the most valuable player. You should be the person that no matter what is going on, finds a way to at least make plays. Now, if you and the other person that's supposed to be y'all tandem come out, score 60, 70 combined, and y'all still lose, then we can start looking at, okay, maybe we got to get them some more help. You know, believe it or not, Scotty and Michael didn't do it by themselves. They had guys like Steve Paxson, Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman, you know, Luke Longley, Cartwright. They had guys that fulfilled their roles. That's why they call role players, because you have a special role that's going to add to the team. But when your superstars don't show up, you cannot blame anything but it being on y'all.
Basketball is the only team sport that the superstars get credit for the wins because of individual matchups that change the game. Because one individual matchup can be ran over and over and over and over again. The reason that Michael Jordan gets the credit that he so rightly deserved, if Mike is down, get out my way. I got this. Or he is, if they triple team me, be ready for the shot. And Steve Kerr was ready. Now, granted, he swung on Steve Kerr, so Steve Kerr was going to be ready regardless. But that was Mike. The problem that I have with Embiid is nobody believes in him because he don't believe in him. You went from internet troll to internet meme. I'm trying not to get us in trouble. I don't want to be Marlo. I'm trying not to get us in trouble. But this dude, stop it. Stop telling me to trust the process. You know what you need to do? This is what you need to do. It's time to break it up. It's time to break up. Let Harden go back to Houston because all he want to do is go to strip clubs.
No. Don't bring that motherfucker back down to Houston. Hell no.
Well, then come on.
You know, I'm almost left meeting. I looked away for 2 seconds and heard you speaking some blasphemous information. I don't want that. We don't want that. Because we know if we ever in a situation where we have to close somebody out, we ain't gonna do it. If it's a game 7, we lost.
I ain't gonna speculate teams in depth, but somebody get Dame some help because he on the internet dancing around. He want to be traded. Y'all give Dame some help because he basically out here in the streets retweeting people talking about they want Dame to go. And he said, well, if they want me to go, start a petition. Get this man out of town. Oh, man. All right. So
Dame has had so many years. You know, the Portland Trail Blazer organization historically has been bad at managing players. Historically have been bad. They didn't do good with Clyde Drexler. Pretty much wasted the first half of his career. Could have drafted Michael Jordan. Didn't.
What did we learn?
Brandon Roy didn't do so well. Knee injuries took him out. Taking Greg Oden number 1 overall, another bad decision. I don't know. You know, we start talking about cursed franchises, right? I don't care what they get named at this point. Y'all have to rebuild. Because what is he, 34, 35 now?
Yep.
You know, y'all in that rebuild time zone now. Y'all waited too long. Y'all missed his window. to build
Man,
around.
send Dame to Orlando.
You don't wait till somebody's in the 13th year of their career and say, "Oh, we want to build around them." What? What? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the headline when I saw it. The Portland Trail Blazers are trying to build around Damian Lillard. That should have been a headline from 9 years ago.
All right. So we're gonna talk about Timothy. The Boston Celtics are trying to get their head coach fired in his first year. Because if your head coach is throwing you, so we trying to make up a play. Y'all want to do what y'all want to do. He throw the clipboard. Okay.
First of all, this ain't football. Stop throwing your clipboard. This ain't football.
That's just passion to me.
I've thrown many of clipboards coaching football.
That's just passion to me. He ain't Bobby Knighted. He ain't go to throwing chairs and flipping over Gatorade containers.
Just relax, sir. Like, the game of basketball is played with so many possessions. You can't get that mad over one possession, is what I'm saying. In football, you may only have one, you mess up one drive and you can lose the game. The margin for error is smaller.
What you got, Mo?
That was a big possession. Like, that was in the balance of the game.
Yeah.
All right.
But y'all still ain't stopped Jimmy Butler. Like, it don't matter.
Y'all, stop being nice. This is a 5-year deal in the making. They don't have a point guard. You got Marcus Smart, who was a tweener. A tweener is a guy that's not really a point guard, not really a shooting guard. That's why he's all defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's handling the ball. Look at their turnovers in playoff games the last 5 years. They need a point guard.
I said this last year.
They tried to get a point guard.
I said this last year. I said they're not going to beat the Warriors because they don't have a point guard.
No.
They don't have a facilitator. You can't go ISO ball every time down the court. Y'all can swing it around, and try to hit threes. But what happens when those threes don't fall? That's not real facilitation.
Mm-mm.
Like, when I think about a facilitator, right, they have the ability to take you off the dribble, go around, go under a screen, hit the open man. Those are facilitators. The offense runs through them. You passing me the ball and me kicking it right back out. He shoots and makes it. I get an assist. That doesn't mean I'm a facilitator. Because the offense runs through Tatum. That we know. So everybody else in the world knows it. And what they do, we don't see star players holding other star players, but Jimmy Butler does. That's what makes him different. He don't give a fuck about none of that extra shit y'all talking about. We playing basketball, and I'm about to show y'all I'm the best person on the court. And he's done it every day of the NBA playoffs this year. That is why he is the leading scorer in the NBA playoffs.
Jimmy.
Well, I can tell y'all the winner of these games by looking at who got the most dogs on the floor. Boston may have 2. They may have 2 dogs on the floor, but Miami team, it's a team full of dogs. Will they sweep Boston? Probably not. But Boston in trouble.
You know what I like? You know what I like to compare them to? Y'all remember that wild card Giants football team that went on to beat the undefeated New England Patriots?
He let it go.
They were told the whole playoffs they weren't even supposed to be there. So you know what they doing? They having fun. Shit. Fuck it. We ain't got nothing to lose. We out here.
Them dudes balling with no quit.
No quit. And look, when you ain't got nothing to lose, that means you got no restraints. You ain't got to play scared. You ain't got to worry about getting pulled out the game.
Undrafted free agent. They ain't supposed to be there.
They not even supposed to be. They the 18. They're supposed to get taken out by the Bucks.
Could you? I'm just talking about me. If I'm an undrafted free agent and a $50 million man is in front of me, you finna catch these balls the whole game. I ain't going nowhere. I don't believe you. Because I ain't supposed to be here. And if you in front of me, you ain't supposed to be here.
Right.
So we finna have fun. And, oh my. Listen, Boston Celtic fans. I understand. Y'all upset because your team is 500 at home. No team has won an NBA championship by being 500 at home. This goes back to season ticket holders. If you're a season ticket holder and 50% of the time you go to the game, the team lose, why am I giving you my money? Because I know one season ticket holder, when their team go 500 next year, we might have to get some bail money.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. Somebody gonna show me they know how to fight. I don't even know why we keep.
Well, then come on.
It's about to be some smoke in the
city. It is about to be some smoke. Now, we can do it like gentlemen. We can square up in with some gloves, and so we can take it back to the hood. What y'all want to do? Y'all gonna show me y'all know y'all got some fighting. Y'all gonna show me something. I digress because my team is gonna be above 500, so we ain't even got to worry about them kind of problems.
I told him. I ain't never scared.
Ever.
Wow. Okay. So moving right along.
Nobody moves. Nobody get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm reloaded.
Nobody moves. Nobody get hurt.
It's not Blake Bortles. What are we talking about? Oh God.
Duck, goose. If that goose get loose, you better duck. You hear me?
Listen. Black coaches deserve a shot at running an NFL franchise. Todd Bowles is not one of those coaches.
This individual. I almost called you outside your name, sir.
We were there to cut string.
I was so close.
Leslie Frazier out here looking for a job and Todd Bowles still employed. What are we talking about?
Wow, you said Leslie Frazier. Wow, that's amazing.
You know, at that point, what do you do?
Like, wow.
Like, we laughing, but let's think about it. The best Bills defense was the defensive coordinator that is now taking a year off because he can't get a job. Like, what are we doing?
So why didn't make him a head coach? A better head coach than Todd Bowles.
So
he's definitely not a better defensive coach.
Here's the problem with Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is an outstanding defensive coordinator. The problem with Todd Bowles is that when he gets the head coaching position, he is not a great manager of teams. Like a lot needs to be said on how teams get managed. You have to be a delegator. It's great to be a great defensive guru, but you have to be able to delegate duties. And then when you delegate those duties, if those people don't perform, you have to be able to go, hey, you're not getting it done. And Todd Bowles got a little Tony Dungy in him. Well, this is my offensive coordinator. I'm gonna ride it out. That can't be it.
I don't think that was Todd Bowles' call though, because Bruce Arians was in up top.
I'm not talking about his Tampa Bay tenure. We don't know what his Tampa Bay tenure really is yet until this year. Because Tom Brady gone. We're gonna find out this year what he really is. So if we want to throw out his Jets time, that's fine.
If mess around and find out was a person, this Todd Bowles. Everybody throwing salt on his name, doing all this. Yeah, okay. We're gonna see.
Dear God.
It's gonna be some smoke in the city.
Dear God, just for the content, please. 500 at home. That's all I need. 500 at home.
We will be above 500 at home, sir.
I want to see Marlo turn red. All right. So, TP, some of the best internet beef is HBCU internet beef. Y'all, I try to manufacture this with PWIs, and it just, they don't. You slap PWI people around a few times and they don't want to play no more. Hey, Clemson, I'm still here. They don't want to play no more. They don't want to play no more. And I bring this up because there are some rankings going on. There's some individuals throwing out rankings and there's some services throwing out rankings. And FAMU has been picked second in just about every one of those polls for the Black National Championship behind North Carolina Central. Now, I don't know what North Carolina Central have in the code. I don't. However, I think it is unfair to leave out Florida A&M and Jackson State in them polls. Jackson State still got a lot of talent, and FAMU, bar none, has leaving out the Jackson State game last year, bar none has the best defense in Black college.
Mm-hmm. Actually, we have the best coach in Black college football.
So now I have some people that I communicate with that are Grambling State alumnus.
But why?
And I don't want to step on their toes. However, I hate the head coach. And if you've watched the podcast, you know why. You presided over 1-6 15s, and I'm not a fan, Hugh. I'm not a fan. That being said, what he's doing off the field eventually has to translate on the field. And I think they should have a very good season. Which brings me to Eddie George. The surprise team that they are talking about is Tennessee State. And I was caught off guard. So I was looking to see, like, did they get somebody big come in to make everybody, the services change? I don't understand. It is my understanding that Eddie's developing players. And if Eddie's developing players, this is what you want to build a long-term tenure as a head coach. And that's what You really want, because if you can't compete with the Jackson States and grabbing people out of portals and FAMU and Grambling got a few people, and I think A&T got a few people. Bethune, oh my God, I can't believe I'm just going to school out of Daytona. That school in Daytona. That school in Daytona assigned 40 players. Is it 40? I think it's 40 players. That school in Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're not a political podcast, but if your public universities are no longer getting state funding, and remember, state funding is different than federal funding. The state funding for HBCUs is not a lot. So don't ever get it twisted. The state funding is not a lot. So when Rhonda Dum Dum says, we're not going to fund diversity and inclusion diversity and inclusion programs, entitlement and inclusion programs, because it's woke politics. Dude, you giving these HBCUs nickels. Shut up. You ain't running nothing. FAMU still gonna teach Black history. Florida State still gonna teach Black history, or send students over to FAMU to learn Black history. You ain't doing nothing. And that's my political moment. But with the diversity programs being cut, there will be an influx of students going to FAMU, going to that school in Daytona, Florida Memorial. I'm not sure where Edward Waters stand, because I do not understand. I've known for quite some time that they've had financial problems because they are tied to the AME church. So they've had some financial issues, but there will be an influx of students. So all you're doing is setting everything back up for FAMU to be the University of Miami all over again. And if that happens, do you know how fast you're going to be in office? You know how many billions of dollars them Hurricane fans got and still can't beat cornrow? What you think they're going to do to you if FAMU beat the University of Miami? What you think going to happen? See, it's consequences and repercussions to everything we do. Like, it's consequences and repercussions when you try to explain to people that the ACC is in financial trouble. The ACC is third among the Power Five in television revenue. And they can't renegotiate their contract because the commissioner of the ACC, I can't use that word. What is the word I want to look for? What is the word I want to look for? Soft. Can I say soft? I think I could say soft. ESPN just ran right over him. So his solution was for playoff teams to keep a greater share of the playoff money. Somebody forgot how the ACC was founded. I'm sorry, how the new ACC was founded. Because contrary to Clemson belief, when it was just you in the conference, the only national championship you won, you lost because you cheated. I think Coach Danny Ford, that was the head coach, got caught cheating, took championship from you. So that championship that you got, Dabo, a grown man named Dabo. Y'all got them 3 championships in the memes. You got 2. You got 2. How many Florida State got? Is that 3? Okay. So the new ACC was started because it was floundering in money because they only had basketball schools. So the Florida State brand, that means name recognition. When people say Florida State, they know they play in Tallahassee, Can anybody tell me what Clemson play? Can you tell me what their television regional market share is? I can tell you Florida State got Florida. And last time I checked, it was more college football fans in Florida than it was in South Carolina. Again, brand. But I'll get back to that. So Florida State came to the ACC and was like, cool, we're going to save the conference. Y'all got Virginia. Virginia was playing good national football, not great, but good national football. Herman Moore came from Virginia. They had a couple names from there. Cool. North Carolina had some football players there, had some recognition, had a great linebacker everybody know, LT. So they had some things going. Well, when Florida State got to the conference, outside of that one game that broke our streak, Virginia didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So it was just Florida State bringing in all the money and nobody else. And this was in the BCS era. So what Florida State came up with was, look, the Big East, they floundering, and they got Vatech, and they got Miami. If you bring Miami in, that's more big name recognition, more big television audiences. It's going to be a good thing. Miami comes into the conference. Florida State is still holding up the conference. Then Miami goes on a little run for a little while. They hold up the conference. Florida State still doing their thing. All that time, I'm just checking. Clemson on a dynasty. What was it, like 3 years, 5 years? That's what we're talking about? That little piddly thing, the little thing. We got a decade, and then we came back and did another 4 years. With a coach I don't even like. And if I don't like my head coach, how do you think I feel about Dabo? But again, I digress. So, when we start talking about ADs, the Magnificent Seven, complaining about the money, if you think them 7 dudes got on a phone call and said, you know what, whoever get to the playoff game, y'all keep the lion's share of the playoff money. No conference in the land would go for that. The SEC not doing that. The Big Ten not doing that. The Pac-12 not doing that. And we know the Big 12 barely get in, and you know they not doing that. So you think these dudes gonna go for that? If that contract is not renegotiated by the end of this year, Florida State is gone. Miami is gone. Virginia Tech is gone. North Carolina is gone. Clemson gonna be in that conference again by itself because it does not have the brand that these other schools have. And these other schools don't have that brand because of football. They got it because of basketball. It's just that simple. The ACC is about to go the way of the Big East. And who led the demise of the Big East? That would be Florida State. That would be Miami. That would be Vatech. Teams who have brands. So if you didn't understand what I was talking about on the internet, your Clemson Hicks, that's what I was trying to explain. So there it is for the slow people in Clemson, South Carolina. But I digress.
I mean, just look at it historically. What teams are there? What teams were part of a failed conference? Because call it what it is, Big East was a failed conference. They weren't able to build an infrastructure that could support longevity and to be able to support every team within that conference. So Big East fell apart. They had a lot of bad teams in their conference. Nobody wanted to watch them. And when nobody want to watch you, you don't get TV deals. And when that TV deal is heavily weighted to certain teams, that's not going to make everybody else too happy. If your TV deal only includes Clemson being broadcasted, it's not going to work. If it only includes Florida State being broadcasted, it's not going to work. Don't nobody want to watch Miami. This ain't 01 Miami. No, this is a couple years after, they had the turnover chain. They were trying to do everything they could to be relevant, and they weren't. Call a spade. They were a bad football team. Bad coached football team. Florida State has not been well coached in a long time. They get prospects. Then prospects take a look at the team and be like, you know what? That might not be good for my career. And when players start looking at a school as being bad for their career, that's why they'll go play a couple years as backups in Alabama and Georgia. Because they know at least they're going to get the help that they need to be successful. And let's face it, a lot of kids that come out of high school aren't projected NFL players until they are groomed. And if you aren't going to a school that's going to groom you, you're just going to play and be mediocre. That's not a good career decision. I don't care how much they pay you in college. If your end goal is to go to the NFL and those teams aren't putting players in the NFL because they aren't grooming them properly, you are going to make better decisions. Like going to Alabama. You just by signing on with Alabama, players have been making it to the NFL. Because the NFL knows that they are coached right. At least we know they're coached right. Not to say that there ain't been a lot of busts that come out of Alabama, but at least they made it to the NFL. Some of those same kids that went to Florida State and Miami started all 4 years. They could have went to Bama and only started their senior year and would have made the NFL as opposed to playing those 4 years and not getting drafted.
In honor of Asian Island Pacific Asian Month, Josh Jacobs is Filipino. Played at Alabama. Was a backup. Led the NFL in rushing.
Who was he backing up though? Derrick Henry. Don't worry, I got you.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Was Derrick Henry? Yeah, I was there. It was there.
He was backing up Derrick Henry. So he was backing up another leading NFL rusher.
Yeah.
But had he went somewhere else, he might not have got the eyes on him like he got at Alabama. Because once you're the bell cow back at Bama, everybody gonna see you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of backs that went to Bama, got drafted, and had pretty mediocre careers. T.Y. Yeldon, comes to mind when I think about that. Daniel Sorensen, had he played for any other college, probably when he made it to the NFL. He might have signed on practice squad and made the team because he's a hard worker and he's a decent football player. But by him going to Bama, that automatically put him in the national spotlight. You had to see Daniel Sorensen every week. He wouldn't have been where he's at now had he not went to Bama.
Yep.
Especially when we look at the ratio of Caucasian DBs in the NFL, it ain't too many. So unless you got something special behind you, your chances are not very high.
No.
And that's just facts. I'm not trying to say that he's not a good football player because of that. What I'm saying is, had he went somewhere else, he would not have had the eyes on him and seen him making these outstanding plays. If he's good enough to play at Bama, he's good enough to play in the NFL. And he did good at Bama, sign him. Let's see what he can do. Bottom line. And until the ACC figures out how to groom players properly, they're going to fall apart.
Well, I've been on record, and I'll be on record right now. Old cornrows if he don't beat LSU, if he don't beat Wake Forest, North Carolina State, he got to win the other games too. But these key games, they got NFL talent on their defensive line. You don't beat North Carolina State, you don't beat Wake Forest. And I'm not saying Wake Forest got NFL talent, but Wake Forest cannot beat a bar. You don't beat Wake Forest, you lose to either of the state schools, dog, you can't get on the plane. And Marlo gonna say you rough on your team and they won 10 games. I don't want to hear all that. I watched them lose to a team that attempted one pass in the second half. And with the influx of talent that then came through the portal, TP, do you know we got a tackle, a left tackle at the portal? I don't want to hear nothing. We got a real left tackle. You got a quarterback. He ain't the greatest, but he top 20. If I can't see bombs over Baghdad and 40-yard runs, my dude, don't get on the plane. Like, don't make me hit the Powerball, hide 100 to march down your street every day. Don't make me be that person. I don't like it when I'm that person. Tom Brady better be glad he quit when he did. So just win, baby. Just win. That's all you got to do. And we all good. We love you when you win. We hate you when we don't. That's just the way it is. Hell, West Virginia ran Bobby Bowden out of town. You ain't no Bobby Bowden. We'll run you out of town. That being said, go Noles. Y'all got anything before I get to some stuff, because you know we got to talk about that guy. We don't really talk about that guy that much. We got to talk about that guy. Marlo, you got nothing? All right, well, we finna talk about that guy. So TP, you know, since he retired, Tom Brady been living his best life. And Tom Brady is no longer playing football, so we ain't got no beef no more. And I want to congratulate Tom Brady for living his best life and just out here in the streets, being outside with apparently A-list movie stars. I mean, I get it. Giselle done put him on. He fit. He ain't playing football no more. He only get the kids for a little bit. He out there in the world. Which brings me to How to Clune. It's me. It's your boy. I just need you to hang out with me for a little bit. Just a little bit. Get my brand up. So these kids won't talk about
your shot at How to Clune. Is that what you're doing?
I'm trying to help the show. What you talking about? This is for the show. I'm falling on a grenade for the show. What are we talking about here? TP, why am I all do this every time I do it?
I'm just like, okay. You said How to Clune.
How to Clune. I'm just saying. I can't be, listen, I'm 50. I can't be out here running around with Janelle Monáe. And apparently she don't even like dudes. So I can't be out here trying to like serenade Janelle Monáe. That ain't gonna look right. It's gonna look weird.
We're gonna ban your Twitter. Take your hands off the keyboard.
I just don't get it. Like there was
gonna take his whole Twitter. You're done.
Like,
oh man. I'm just, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, you're not. You're not just saying. There's levels to, first of all, had you said Gabrielle Sidibe, something like that, she got her celebrity up.
Who we talking about?
I ain't gonna say it again. That was malicious. And get out.
Well, I am not here to start any problems in anybody else's house. That's not what I'm trying to do. I am just trying to increase the visibility of the show, and I thought maybe Heidi Klum could do that. If I say, Jill Scott, y'all get on me, y'all want to make jokes about Jill Scott or whatever. So I ain't gonna say Jill Scott.
Did we make jokes about Jill Scott?
Yeah, y'all did. Yeah, it's on record. It's on the internet.
But what jokes did we make about Jill Scott?
No, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't make jokes about Jill Scott. Y'all made jokes about me shooting my shot at Jill Scott.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's not really that funny, dog.
It's pretty funny.
I pay good money to go to the shows. Why would you do me like that?
You along with thousands of others, sir.
So she ain't singing to them. She's singing to me.
Wow. I think that's all I can say. Wow. Like, I think when she ain't make one album or one CD and write for Troy on it. She ain't do none of that.
Y'all better hope I don't hit the Powerball.
You just be a dude who hit the Powerball.
And it'll be a concert at Emily Arena every month for one.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
Hey, I told y'all, if I hit the Powerball, I'm gonna be very responsible. I'm gonna make sure FAMU get $10 million in NIL deals. I'm gonna do my best to help out FAMU if I hit the Powerball. I'm not tying any funds to FAMU. However, if you happen to be a 5-star athlete and you happen to be at FAMU and I hit the Powerball, you're gonna get paid. We're gonna do some Fat Mouth Sports commercials, gathering old men commercials. You finna get paid. Cause before I die, I would love to see FAMU #1 recruiting class. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And Florida State fans, I don't want to hear nothing for you. We done had like 20 #1 recruiting classes. Shut up. It would just, warm my heart to see FAMU with a #1 recruiting class. And that school in Daytona can't do nothing about it.
On what scale are we basing this recruiting class off? On just HBCUs or
No, not just HBCUs,
or
5-star 5 stars.
FCS, like
They gonna be 5-star with FBS talent going to FAMU.
And you think this gonna happen in your lifetime?
If I hit the Powerball,
what you hitting the Powerball gonna do?
I'm putting up 10. If
What
they
that's
get
gonna
10 5-stars, they get $1 million apiece. That's the #1 recruiting class. It don't matter what else they do. That's the #1 recruiting class.
And you think that is gonna get you 10 5-star recruits?
So you're saying I need to do 20 million?
Ain't there limits?
No, ain't no limit.
So it ain't no limit on NIL deals.
No.
So a team can pay a player as much as they want.
Not the team. But an organization can pay a player, but that pay cannot be tied to the university. It is not contingent on them. Like the player can't be recruiting and say, hey, we're going to give you $10 million if you go to Alabama. They can't do that. But if a player commits to Alabama, you're like, oh, since you committed to Alabama, here you go. Because that money isn't tied. So I hit the Powerball. This is my face. I hit the Powerball. Remember this face? I got you. And Mullo is going to be the happiest Rattler alumnus ever.
Well, I'll be waiting for that cold day in hell. So.
He's just pissed off dreams. Oh man. Listen, I get it.
Be a cold day too.
I get it.
Alaska cold.
So some more college football. TP, there were college football head coach rankings. And our head coach apparently last year was ranked 47th. This year he's ranked 19th. And that's a great jump. But this Florida State. And I need everybody to understand how I feel about Florida State versus how I feel about FAMU. I am a FAMU fan. Win, lose, or draw, I'm happy. Do I want them to win? Yes. If they beat that school in Daytona, I'm happier because Marlo happy. But that's different. I was at Florida State when we was winning things. I'm not like these 1970 Florida State people. I'm not them. I didn't live that life. I don't know what that life is. I'm not okay with losing. That was never injected into me and became part of my DNA. Losing meant you was a loser, so I cannot accept losing. And I definitely can't accept losing to, we can't be losing games to arts schools. We can't be losing games to Wake Forest. We can't. We have the High Magnetic Laboratory. We have a medical school. We got a law school. We can't be losing Wake Forest. We just can't. We can't be losing to North Carolina State backup quarterback who throw one touchdown pass. I'm sorry, attempt one pass. We can't do that. Can't do that no more. We ain't there no more. We slapping SEC schools around. What's up, LSU? Y'all ain't got nothing to say? Scoreboard? That ain't sit too well with you. You don't like that background? We beat SEC schools. We can't be losing to ACC schools no more. Y'all forget where we come from. We come from playing anybody anywhere. We the school of Punk Ruski. We beat down Clemson and make it a meme before a meme was ever heard of. But you heard of the Punk Ruski. And since we talking about Clemson, and I don't really want to make the night about me, but since we talking about Clemson, can you and LSU decide which one is actually Death Valley? So we know which one to call Death Valley? Because as a Seminole, yes, y'all had some success Clemson in the last couple of years. Ain't nobody scared to go play in Death Valley. I'm just saying. I don't mean to start now, but I'm just
the real Death Valley is out west in Arizona. You really want to be technical.
See, like, I don't listen. When I post on Twitter, it is with knowledge and love. It might be a little friendly little jab there. It's friendly. But I'm not the when you go low, I go high person. That ain't me. when you go low, I want to see how well you can survive in the mud. So I may say that like I dated your mama in college and your daddy looked just like me. I might say that. You might want to ask Granny some questions. I might say these things. I might say that like because you said we only got 34 subscribers. I might tell you that likes and clicks, that ain't what I'm built on. We do this because we love this. We do this because at some point, somebody's going to need to hear the truth about sports history. And since COVID, we don't go in the barbershop no more and sit down and have these conversations. You have to make a barbershop appointment in an app. It ain't 20, 30 people in the barbershop no more. So this is what this show is about. This is to give you some history, some young, some old, some in between. And to give you an insight on when these dudes on ESPN be talking, sometimes you just got to realize that JJ Redick just be talking. The NBA was small and JJ Redick could have never made a squad. They just came out with the movie Sweetwater. TP, do you know Sweetwater was 28 years old when he got into the NBA. The first black starter in NBA history was 28 years old when he played his first game. It was like, oh, his career was short. He was 28 in the 50s. You ain't had long careers then. You get an injury, it was over. A torn ankle, you retired. That's history. People don't know who. Y'all don't know the Globetrotters was better than most of the NBA players. Not better than most of them. They were a better team. They beat the world champions. That's the history that you get here. So when me and Marlo go back and forth about the Bucks, it ain't personal. At one point, I was a Bucks fan. Then I got parole and I went and saw greener pastures.
By rooting for the Raiders.
You are such a hater, Marlo.
That's greener.
You're such a hater.
I'm just asking a question for a friend.
You asking a question for a friend?
Yeah, your greener pastures was the Raiders.
It was. And the Raiders have had 20 years of dysfunction. The Bucks' first 30 years was dysfunction. What we talking about?
We're talking about you moving from a team that was on the rise to go to a team.
Hold on. We're not doing that. We're going to tell the truth. I didn't just lead the Bucks while they was on the rise. The Bucks had already won the Super Bowl. And they dismantled the team. Then the Glaciers.
That's not when you went to the Raiders, though.
Wait, can I finish? Then the Bucks.
Conversation last week, by the way, Marlo.
Yeah. Then the Bucks ownership bought Manchester United and decided, you know what? The greatest soccer player that ever played a game, we don't want him on the team no more. They did the same thing on the other side of the pond. No, I'm not no Bucks fan. Fuck the Glazers. I'm not doing that. I'll find somebody else. And yes, for a while, I didn't have no team. I didn't have no team.
So you traded ass for ass.
I ain't had no choice. I came for ass. I ain't know no better. The Bucks is literally the definition of ass.
Dirty ass.
I'm sorry. How many Super Bowl trophies the Bucks got? 2?
As many as the Raiders?
3. The Raiders got 3.
And you wasn't a fan when they won either one of them?
One of them.
I wasn't. Hold on. Everybody was a Marcus Allen fan. Don't do that.
You were not a Raiders fan when they won. I didn't say I was a Raiders fan.
I literally said Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen was the reason to look at the Raiders when we was kids. Marcus Allen was the only reason to look. No, that's not true. That's
they had Jack Tatum.
You know, Bo Jackson was a Raider.
Jasper.
And I know Bo Jackson was a Raider.
Oh,
but when we
were,
oh man, yeah, they had Hacksaw. They had a bunch of players. Howard Long. They had a bunch of players. They had a bunch. Wait, hold on, wait.
You didn't.
We're not going to be in the habit of questioning somebody's fandom. That's my choice.
It's a bad choice.
If I like the big booty girl with the ugly face, I don't want to hear it. That's the big booty girl I like with the ugly face.
And
don't be
you talking
judging
about
me on who I pick.
damn hottie clown.
It's a bad choice. You know, but hey, if that's who you want to root for, you have every right to.
I'm being clowned by a Texans and a Bucks fan.
Yeah,
Boy, it's a
who
rough
just
day.
won the Super Bowl in the last 2 years.
I've been a
The last
Texan
3
fan.
years.
I have been a Texan fan since the day they were created.
So, you know what? TP, this is America. This is the
But you
land
know
of
who I was
state
a fan
champions.
of before them? I was an
Oh, yeah?
Oilers fan.
Because that was the team that was there. The team that, even the Oilers were mediocre in their beginning. Do you know the Bucks in their beginning wasn't mediocre until they drafted Doug Williams? And when they decided not to pay Doug Williams, they went on a 30-year slide from the 80s to the 2000s.
Until they got Tony Dungy. Actually, it was the 90s, sir.
It wasn't 30 years. That's a bit much. It was like
That's
15.
a bit way much.
You know,
I'm sorry.
their stretch was actually shorter than how long it's been since the Cowboys. You know what? I'm gonna let them ride.
Or the Raiders. Don't forget them.
Ooh. Oh man, you make this too easy.
It really isn't. If you let me explain myself.
Oh, you make this too easy.
You have been doing
the
this
ability to root for another team. But like I said, the Oilers from inception they went from mediocre to constantly in the playoffs. The Bucks didn't start there. The Bucks had Steve Spurrier as the quarterback. Before I knew what a Steve Spurrier was, I was a Bucks fan with that ugly orange jersey on.
Creamsicles.
And thank God there is no pictures of me ever having a Steve Spurrier jersey on.
But I'll admit, when the Oilers left, they packed up, moved to Tennessee. I said, fuck it. I'm a Redskin fan. You know why? Because fuck the Cowboys. Because fuck the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys so much. I decided to be a Redskin fan. Because all I seen in Houston was all this Cowboys shit. I cannot stand Cowboys fans.
Do you know,
a Cowboys fan, we are not going to have a good friendship. Because I'm going to talk shit every time I see you.
So, I ain't going to name no names, but there is a celebrity, I want to call them a celebrity Bucks fan. She used to be a Cowboys fan and think we don't remember. We remember, but we don't say nothing. Because high school was a long time ago. Just like when I was a Bucks fan, it was a long time ago. But people don't want you to be great. They're going to remember you when you was in the mud dirty. Even though I still wrestle in the mud from time to time on Twitter. People don't let you grow.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to be great regardless of what you try to hold me back to be.
What the hell are we talking about here? Wrestle in the mud from time to time. You are a damn Raiders fan.
That's big talk from a Bucks fan.
You're right. Ask us when the last time we was in the playoffs. Go ahead, ask me.
Last year.
Okay.
With a 1 game over 500 record.
Right.
When the last time we was in the playoffs? 2 years ago.
We was in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago.
What are you saying? We stopped going to the playoffs when we got that bum as head coach.
When the last time y'all won a Super Bowl? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Oh.
Yeah. We done won 2 since the last time y'all you sniffed it. Don't y'all worry. They still out here in these streets, LA is.
All I want to tell you is, it's okay, Marlo. You'll be a Raiders fan too.
No, I won't. This is for life.
Yeah, if they go 500 at home, it's definitely gonna be for life. Because they're gonna give you life.
I ain't killing nobody. I just want to make sure they got fight in them. And if I got to do that for my fandom, I'll take that. For my team to be better, I will do that for the organization. Don't worry, I got y'all.
How are we gonna explain his absence, TP? Like, we should work on that explanation.
So you gotta explain my absence. You gotta explain this like, well, he did what he said he gonna do.
So
he
we don't have to apologize for Marlo. We don't have to explain his absence.
If I did it, I meant it. Like, meant it. I'm just gonna try to help them be better
as we wind down, because we can save all the NFL talk for later. Because I mean, just be honest, ain't we tired of talking about Aaron Rodgers?
What is there to talk about? He has not won a single game in a Jets uniform.
Yep, he keep getting beat by my quarterback.
Who's your quarterback?
Porn star Jimmy. You heard me. At least, you know what?
Oh my God!
Quarterbacks.
He can't even make up his mind.
Are we playing? I'm sorry.
First, Derek Carr was the best quarterback in the league. Then Derek Carr was this, and then Derek Carr go to another team, and now my quarterback is porn star Jimmy.
I don't have no say so over who management pay. Just like you have no say so if Blaine Gabbert is your starting quarterback.
Yeah, he shall not be. I'm just saying. I ain't saying that, I wish any ill will towards anyone in the organization. But what I am saying is, if Kyle is not the starting quarterback, it's going to be some smoke in the city.
You ain't got no faith in Baker Mayfield?
Baker ain't got no faith in Baker Mayfield. Baker got that phone call and was like, really? Y'all want me? Yeah, Baker will take you for $8 million. You was the number 1 overall draft pick and starting quarterback for 2 different teams and took the Rams to a couple wins. But we're going to give you $8 million. If that ain't an indication.
Okay, but you haven't paid Kyle Trask.
They have to. He's still in the contract.
He's still on his rookie deal.
And
your head coach has said that Baker's not guaranteed to start.
Just got a little twisty.
Oh my. Are you really hoping ill will on Baker Mayfield?
No.
Because that's going to be our starting quarterback.
He is not. I done told y'all who's going to be our starting quarterback. I don't know why we still talking about this. I done had a conversation with management, and they already know how I feel.
They don't know who you is.
They will. If they don't want to get to that point in our relationship, if they don't want to continue my anonymity, I do not want to have to be vocal in this organization. But goddamn it, if I have to, I will.
Marlo, the silent partner.
As much money as I spend on season tickets. Hell, game day is a $250 endeavor damn near every game. Over 9 games, plus what I pay for season tickets. They're going to have to show me something.
I feel at this point they should just buy your Mercedes and call it a day.
I don't want
Because
no
you're finna be mad this season.
I don't want no Mercedes. I got one. Could care less about them. But what I do care about is wins.
TP, the podcast has been derailed. My fault. That's on me.
Okay.
Oh man.
You did this. Remember, I was just over here in the cut. You want to talk about them talking about not going 500 at home. Oh shit. They better go 500 on the road too.
Oh my. All right. Oh man. Oh man. Oh God. So, oh man, TP. That's ladies and gentlemen, that's Marlo. That's Marlo live in living color.
All day, every day.
But it's
and meaning.
It's the time of the week. And I'm just gonna tell you what I got on my mind right now. I ain't gonna no big fanfare, none of that. It is what it is. I was questioning about our subscriber numbers on YouTube. And it's not a big deal for me because we do this for fun. But please understand the technology behind what we do. I make this as simple as possible because there's probably somebody young that wants to start a podcast, want to stream video games, want to get into the tech part of this work and don't know how to do it. And at one point I got tired of telling people, oh, it's easy to do. So when you wonder, well, they only got this many subscribers, I make it simple. This is a entry level technology podcast. It is no muss, no fuss. Hang on 1 second, y'all. This is. Hey, what's going on in podcasting? What's wrong? Okay, can you send me the address? Okay, all right. We gonna. Can I call you back after the podcast? Okay, bye. Sorry about that, y'all. Ash mom want to make sure there wasn't no issues. But I make this podcast as simple as possible so that anybody can follow the footsteps and create their own content, because there are not an abundance of young, what I call free Black voices. And what I mean by that is there's plenty of Black voices out there that are attached to corporations that have corporation money behind it, and it makes it difficult for young voices and young minds to get into the business. You don't need nothing special. Get you a laptop, get you a Zoom. I have a paid Zoom. You don't even have to get a paid Zoom. Get you a Zoom. It's free. You get 45 minutes to say what you want to say. It's free software out there to edit what you need to edit and create your YouTube channel. We are streaming on every single one of my social media platforms because some young man thought that I would be judged or I would allow him to judge me based on my 34 subscribers. No, I judge me on my potential reach. The things that we say, where we say them, they matter. Everything that I say, I may make jokes, I may needle some fans, but everything that I start out my day with is love, period. I love everybody. I don't like that school in Baton Rouge, that school in Gainesville, that school in Coral Gables, that school in Daytona. I love that school in Daytona, but I don't like it. So, oh, yeah, in that school in South Carolina, that's not the Gamecocks. Them schools I don't like, but I love everybody. Except the Rays on them. I hope every morning he get out of bed, he stub his toe. Outside of that, it's all fun and games. It's all love. But when you come to this podcast, we do this for fun because we love talking about sports. This is what we grew up doing, and we do it in as constructive manner as possible, eliminate the last 20 minutes. But it's something that we can do to share with the world. Because if you come here to hear Troy talk about stats and figures and all, you came to the wrong place. I'm here to talk about sports, make you laugh, make you chuckle, hear us talk about our teams. That's what I'm here for. When you leave this podcast, at the end of the podcast, your day should be better. Because at the end of this podcast, psychologically, I am better. 2 hours a week, I get to sit with my friends, laugh, and smile. When you come here 2 hours a week, I want you to laugh and smile. We're going to have some serious topics, but not all the time. It's a serious topic out there right now. I did not want to talk about it. It serves no purpose to pile on. So we didn't talk about it. That was on purpose. TP, Marlo.
Well, I just would like to say that I feel, people having their own comments, but I will forever be respectful of those that respect me. Like I'm a respecter of persons. So if it's your opinion about something, that's your opinion. I ain't got nothing negative or disingenuous to say about it at all. It literally is your opinion, and I can't tell you how that is. But if I come out and say something and I feel a way about that thing, you ain't finna tell me what I feel about something is right or wrong either. So I think we need to keep everything in perspective when we're doing these different kind of platforms. And if your emotions are in it, if you're responding and replying to things that ain't nothing, you're supposed to be an emotional fan and want your team to win and be great. You're supposed to want that. So kudos to that, but I always keep it respectful. And that's all I got to say about the entirety of that.
TP?
Well, I think a lot of times we get to talking about sports. We forget about the sports that are played without balls. And this weekend is a very important boxing match. Lomachenko said this is last hoorah to become the undisputed pound for pound best fighter in the world. And he is going against an undefeated Haney who is ready to knock him out. Now, we ain't seen Lomachenko get knocked out too many times. As a matter of fact, I don't remember ever seeing him get knocked out. But Haney said he's going to knock him out. He said if he don't knock him out, he's going to at least put pause on him enough to where you think that he got knocked out. So if you a boxing fan or just want to get into the sport of boxing, go ahead, head to your nearest Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, they showing the game for free, showing the fight for free. You don't want to pay the pay-per-view price because it's going to be steep. And watch some good boxing. Because I think it's going to be a very good fight. Better than the Tank Davis fight. Yeah, it's me. Lomachenko has been a name that you probably heard over the years. He at one point was the undisputed champion. But now we're talking about pound for pound, best fighter in the world. And I think Haney got it. Like I said, he's 29-0 with 15 knockouts. You know, this ain't no chump. There's a reason he is who he is. So I'm gonna be tuned in. I'll have more to speak on it next week. But we got to remember that there's other sports outside of the ones they play with balls. I know the NBA playoffs is going on right now. We spent a great deal, talking about the debacle in Philly. That team is probably going to get dismantled. I can see the Bucks getting dismantled. There's a lot of teams that are upset in the East that they haven't been able to capitalize on the talent that they have. I heard someone say the Warriors dynasty was over. Last time I checked, Curry and Klay Thompson will still be Warriors next year. So to say that the dynasty is over because they lost one round short of the Western Conference Finals, I don't think that's it. Because they did win the championship last year. Like, I don't know if people's memories are that bad or they just that stupid. But this is a team that won the championship last year. Okay, they had younger players. Jordan Poole might not be it. He probably gone. I ain't gonna lie to you. He probably ain't gonna be a Warrior next year. But to say that the dynasty is over, I believe it when I see it. And that dynasty won't end until Curry and Klay Thompson are no longer Warriors. But that's my time for the week. I appreciate y'all. And as always, go Texans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to thank y'all for coming out. Because without y'all, none of this is possible. So again, for myself, TP and Marlo, thank you for coming to a gathering over me, and then we are out.
Come on in, ladies. Want to rub this with these guys.